Picture this. You just found a Range Rover on Autotrader for $25,000. It was $90,000 new. You think you found a deal. 3 months later, you are staring at a repair estimate for $15,000. Your mechanic is not surprised. He has seen this exact scenario play out hundreds of times. In fact, he was counting on it. Scotty Kilmer, a mechanic with over 50 years of experience, said it best. He called Land Rovers endless money pits and one of the worst built vehicles in the world. He uses a database called AllData that shows technical service bulletins for every car. When he looks up a Toyota Camry, he finds maybe 8 or 10 bulletins. When he looks up a Land Rover, 85 pages of problems. That is not an opinion. That is documented data. Welcome to Mechanic Secrets. Subscribe now if you want to learn what mechanics actually think before you learn it the hard way. Here is what happens when a Land Rover rolls into the shop. The mechanics do not groan, they smile. One shop owner in Tennessee told a customer straight up, to participate in Land Rover ownership, you need to be really smart, really dumb, or really rich. Dealerships, he said, cater to the second and third group. That customer had just bought a 2010 Range Rover Sport with 140,000 miles for $8,000. He thought he would need maybe $5,000 in repairs. The dealership handed him an estimate for over $10,000. J.D. Power placed Land Rover dead last in their vehicle dependability study. Dead last. Repair POI ranked them 31st out of 32 brands. The average Land Rover visits the mechanic for 2 unplanned repairs every 3 years. That is 65% more often than any other vehicle. And 16% of those repairs classified as severe. Let me tell you what's severe: the AAR suspension. Every mechanic knows this one is coming. The system that gives you that smooth ride and adjustable height, it starts failing around 80,000 miles, sometimes as early as 40,000 miles. The top technician at Accurate Automotive said he has seen control arm bushings completely wiped out at 40,000 miles on Range Rovers. The suspension components are simply not strong enough to handle the weight of the vehicle. When one corner fails, the repair runs between $1,500 and $4,000. When all 4 go, and they often do within months of each other, you are looking at $16,000. For a car you bought for $20,000. But wait, it gets worse. The intake system. The same mechanic said Land Rover made their intake systems entirely out of plastic. When things get too hot, they crack. And they will get too hot. A forum post on Range Rover's net tells the story of an owner with a 2011 Range Rover Sport supercharged. 70,000 miles. Always used premium fuel. Changed the oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles with synthetic. The supercharger failed twice. 6 injectors went bad. The timing chain jumped and bent 2 valves. The dealership estimate? $15,000. On a vehicle he maintained perfectly. He wrote, "When you pay over $90,000 for an automobile, you would expect it to last more than 70,000 miles without catastrophic engine failure." He expected wrong. Here is what Land Rover does not tell you. The 3-litre diesel V6 has a known crankshaft bearing failure problem. When that goes, you are looking at $8,000 to $15,000 for a new engine. Some owners have needed complete engine replacements at just 70,000 miles. The warranty company tried to deny one claim because the warranty did not cover casings like the engine block, because apparently the block is just a housing for the crankshaft. Land Rover Australia ended up giving that owner a new engine for free. Most owners are not that lucky. The cost of ownership is staggering. CarEdge reports the average Range Rover costs over $19,000 in maintenance and repairs during the first 10 years. There is a 51% chance you will need a major repair. That is not a possibility. That is a coin flip. And the depreciation. A new Range Rover loses over $70,000 in value in 5 years. The market is telling you something. Buyers have figured it out. Mechanics have always known. One owner on a Land Rover forum wrote, I dropped my Discovery at the dealer for its monthly "What is broken this time" visit. He compared it to his 11-year-old Honda with 237,000 miles that cost him a fraction of the time and money. He called his Land Rover the worst purchase he ever made. So what do mechanics actually buy? They buy Toyotas, specifically the Land Cruiser and the 4Runner. One forum user put it perfectly: compare your Land Rover to a Toyota Land Cruiser. At the same age, the Toyota costs 3 times as much used. There is a reason for that. The Land Cruiser reaches 200,000, 300,000, sometimes 400,000 miles on basic maintenance. Try finding a Range Rover from the 90s that is not in a junkyard or a restoration project. The engineering philosophy is completely different. Toyota uses traditional coil springs instead of air suspension. Simpler, lasts forever. Toyota keeps electronics manageable instead of cramming in 100 sensors that fail when the battery voltage drops slightly. When mechanics spend their own money, they buy Toyotas. That should tell you everything. So what should you do if you still want a Land Rover? One forum veteran gave the best advice I have seen: never take it to a dealer. Their prices are wildly inflated. Find an independent shop that specializes in Land Rovers. Budget: $3,000 minimum per year for repairs after warranty. Get a pre-purchase inspection from someone who will actually tell you the truth. And never, ever buy one thinking you got a deal because the price was low. A cheap Range Rover is the most expensive car you will ever own. Or you could do what mechanics do: buy something else entirely. The patterns mechanics see from thousands of repairs tell a story no commercial ever will. They see which brands keep coming back. They see which repairs pay for their vacations, and they see which owners are still smiling at 200,000 miles. That knowledge is worth more than any glossy advertisement showing a truck climbing a mountain it will never actually climb. If this saved you from a bad purchase, subscribe to Mechanic Secrets and hit the notification bell. Every like helps more people learn what mechanics actually know. Share this with someone about to buy a car. They deserve to know what they are really getting into. New videos drop every week.